in the glittering world of Forrester Creations, where beauty is currency and secrets are sharper than any blade, one man stands at the edge of a choice that could shatter everything he claims to love. John Finn Finnegan has sworn his loyalty. He has looked into Steffi Forrester's eyes and promised that his heart, his future, his very soul belong to her and their children. But what if the promise is already cracking? And across town, a young man has already been warned. Will Spencer has been told clearly, coldly, that the path he is walking leads only to ruin. Bold and the Beautiful, 2 weeks that could change everything. July 27th to August 7th. To the outside world, the story is simple. Finn Finnegan is the devoted husband, the good doctor, the man who survived Sheila Carter's darkest schemes and chose Steffi, chose family, chose light over the blood that runs through his veins. Will Spencer is the restless heir, passionate, impulsive, still learning that love in this city rarely comes without a price. That is the public narrative, the one sold on glossy magazine covers and carefully curated social media. But inside the walls of these mansions, the truth is far more complicated. What happens when the man who swore he was done with darkness begins to feel its pull again? Because in the 2 weeks beginning July 27th, the carefully constructed piece begins to fracture, and the first cracks appear in the place no one expected. Tuesday, July 28th, Finn looks Steffi dead in the eye. According to multiple soap reporting outlets, including Soaps.com and Soap Opera Magazine, he makes a heartfelt, explicit promise. His loyalties lie with her and the children. The specter of Sheila may still loom, but he is done with that chapter. Finn promises Steffi that his loyalties lie with her and the kids. It is the kind of declaration that should close a door. Yet even as the words leave his mouth, something shifts. By Thursday, July 30th, Taylor Hayes, the woman who has watched this family through every storm, begins to notice it. A softening, a hesitation, a resolve that is no longer absolute when the subject turns to Sheila Carter. Taylor clocks Finn's resolve weakening when it comes to Sheila. This is not rumor. This is the observation of a mother and a psychiatrist who has spent years reading the micro-expressions of the people she loves. Why would a man who has already paid so high a price begin to waver? Is it blood? Guilt? The lingering belief that Sheila can still be redeemed? Or is it something darker, the quiet, dangerous possibility that the man Steffi married is not entirely free of the woman who once tried to destroy her, and while Finn wrestles with the ghost of his biological mother, another young man is about to receive a warning he may not survive ignoring. Will Spencer has always lived on the edge of consequence. This week, the edge finds him. On Monday, July 27th, Wyatt Spencer begins to wonder aloud whether his younger brother has already moved on from Electra Forrester faster than anyone expected. By Tuesday, the wonder becomes a warning. Wyatt's latest travails somehow serve up a harsh reality check for Will. Soaps.com. Will gets a reality check when Wyatt weighs in on his latest mess, and it is not the pep talk he was hoping for. Wyatt does not soften the blow. He does not offer comfort. He offers clarity. The message is unmistakable. The choices Will is making, the secrets, the pride, the refusal to fully let go or fully commit, are leading him toward isolation. On Wednesday, Electra draws a hard line with Melissa Dillon over Will and the true status of their relationship. No more ambiguity, no more half-truths. Then, on Thursday, Dillon delivers an unexpected confession that leaves Electra stunned. Dillon drops an unexpected confession that leaves Electra completely stunned. What that confession contains has not yet aired, but the reaction is clear. Electra does not receive it with grace. By Friday, Will attempts amends. He reaches for the very person he has already begun to lose. And the question hanging over every frame is whether it is already too late. Because while Will chases forgiveness, another force is moving quietly through the city, determined to reclaim a place she was never meant to hold again. Sheila Carter does not accept exile. On Wednesday, July 29th, she makes her case directly for a return to Steffi's life. She is not subtle. She is not repentant in the way the family demands. She is relentless. Sheila makes her case for a spot back in Steffi's life, and she is not taking no for an answer. By Friday, she confides in Lee Finnegan about what she truly wants. And Steffi, Steffi begins to weigh the unthinkable. The risk of allowing the woman who once shot her and left her for dead back into the orbit of her children, this is the central question of these 2 weeks. Not whether Sheila has changed, but whether Finn's quiet, growing conflict will tip the scale in her favor, and whether Steffi's love for her husband will override every instinct that has kept her alive. And as these private wars intensify, the public ones explode into the open. While Finn and Will fight their internal demons, the larger Forrester-Logan war continues to burn. Steffi confronts Hope. Hope refuses to yield. Brooke's fury toward Katie and the fractures inside the Logan family add new layers of pressure. There are whispers of travel of Monaco, of distance that may or may not be enough to protect what remains fragile. But the heart of the story remains the two men standing at crossroads. Finn, the husband whose promise is already being tested by the woman who gave him life. Will, the young man who has been warned and who must now decide whether he will listen. In the world of the bold and the beautiful, love is never simple. Loyalty is never permanent. And warnings are rarely heeded the first time they are given. So we return to the question that opened this story. Can a man who has already survived the darkest version of his mother truly close that door forever? Or does blood, once acknowledged, always find a way back in? And can a young man who has been handed a clear warning about the cost of his choices still choose the harder, wiser path? Or is he already too far down the road? These are not rumors. The promise Finn makes is reported across multiple established soap outlets. The weakening of his resolve is observed by Taylor. The warning to Will is delivered by his own brother. The confessions, the lines drawn, the attempts at amends all appear in the official 2-week spoiler reports for July 27th through August 7th. What remains unknown, what the camera has not yet shown, is how far the cracks will spread. Will Finn's conflict remain private, or will it become the latest weapon in Sheila's arsenal? Will Will's attempt at amends reach Electra before the damage becomes permanent? Or are these 2 weeks simply the quiet before a far louder collapse? In Los Angeles, beauty is never just skin deep. It is armor. It is currency. It is sometimes the only thing standing between a person and the truth they cannot face. Finn Finnegan has made his promise. Will Spencer has received his warning. What happens next will not be decided by the cameras or the writers alone. It will be decided by how much of themselves these men are willing to lose, and how much of the darkness they are willing to invite back in. Some doors, once opened, refuse to close. What do you believe Finn will choose? Drop your theories below, and if you felt the weight of these 2 weeks, hit subscribe. The next chapter is already coming.